Hi, I'm Zach Weisberg, and today I'm going to talk about nonverbal communication, specifically in terms of eye contact between presenter and audience during a presentation. So, as we all know and that we learned in class, the most important part of presenting is keeping your audience interested and engaged throughout the entire presentation. And one of the easiest ways to do so is to be constantly communicating with them, both verbally and non-verbally. Verbal communication is as it sounds, verbally. So what you say to the audience and how they hear it and what they think of it. But nonverbal is much more complex. For nonverbal communication, there's many different ways of talking to the audience and communicating with them. But perhaps the most important of all is eye contact. When it comes to eye contact, there is a right and a wrong way to go about using it. And unfortunately, most Americans haven't correctly been taught the right way to use it. So, in both personal situations like one-on-one interactions or group interactions like a presentation to an audience, Americans don't know how to use eye contact and the right way to do it. I know this because more than half of the adult population is scared of public speaking. And one of the biggest parts of public speaking, if you ask anyone in the world, they'll say eye contact. So, in my life, I've given dozens and dozens of presentations while also listening to probably hundreds more. So I know what a good presentation sounds like and a bad presentation. And more specifically, I know what good eye contact and bad eye contact looks like. The best way to use eye contact is to look at the audience, at each person in the audience for a few seconds, letting them know that you see them and that they're relevant to you and that you care about them listening. However, not looking at them at all or staring at them for an extended period of time is equally bad because it just weirds everyone out. So, a perfect example would look like this. See me scanning the room, look at you for a few seconds, on, from person to person. Something not to do would be looking down like this, and then talking, because then no one's going to pay attention to that. Or if you're going to sit there and stare at someone for the entire presentation. Like that, see, not good at all. So, since eye contact is probably the biggest and most important type of nonverbal communication while presenting, that's what we all need to work on in how to be successful in using it. To be successful in using it, we should have an understanding of why it's so important. So I did some research to get some more understanding on the topic and why. First, I found from studybodylanguage.com that eye contact is crucial to the success of a presentation because humans have a tendency to do what is being done to them back to who's doing it. Which means if I'm the presenter and I'm talking to you and you see me looking at you in the eyes, that means you're going to look back at me in the eyes. Which is perfect. That's the ideal situation that a presenter would want. So the presenter makes eye contact and then the audience sees that and makes eye contact right back. Also, I went to elementalenglish.com and found that eye contact is the first step in actually comprehending what you hear and see as an audience member. So if we go back to the first point and you are looking at the audience and they'll look back at you, means they'll look at you and they'll actually have an understanding and comprehension of what you're saying, which is the goal of every presentation. You want the audience to know what you're saying and get something out of it. Next, I found a study conducted by the Michigan State University Communication Program that eye contact is associated with credibility and dominance. And if you think about it, this makes perfect sense because if you're knowledgeable and understanding on a topic, you should have no issue confidently standing there and addressing the audience and looking them right in the eyes. However, if you don't understand and you're not knowledgeable on the topic of the speech, then it would be very easy for you not to want to look at them and look down and look around because you don't really know what you're saying. And if you think about it in a common sense situation, it shows empathy. When you're looking at someone and they're just looking away, does it really look like they care? No. So an audience has a higher tendency to look back at you and to care about what you're saying if it looks like if you are looking at them and care about them. Also in our society, it's a sign of respect while interacting with someone that you use eye contact and look at them in the eyes. So if you're getting the audience's respect with eye contact, they should respect you enough to reciprocate and look at you. But if you don't give them the respect that they deserve, then why should they respect you? So the audience won't look at you, and then the presentation will be worthless. So now that we've looked more in depth at the importance of eye contact during a presentation, I look forward to giving you more information and more reasoning behind nonverbal communications in my final speech in the coming weeks. Thank you.